Well, in the coming weeks, some of Canada's top employers and community support groups are coming together for the Spectrum Works career fairs to help Canadians with autism find meaningful work. These events are especially important given that 67% of Canadian adults with autism are unemployed. And for those who are employed, the median annual income is less than $3,000. Joining us live right now is the founder of Spectrum Works, Neil Forrester. Neil, appreciate your time this morning. Those numbers are quite staggering, because we know a growing number of the population are people dealing with autism on the spectrum in some way or another. And those numbers are very jarring to think about the future employment level. So how does Spectrum Works and these job fairs help?
We really try to connect employers with autistic job seekers. We also try to give a lot of these autistic job seekers hope. A lot of them aren't aware of how to socially connect with a lot of these employers or finding opportunities for them.
Yeah.
And on the other side, a lot of employers aren't familiar with what autism is, what autistic job seekers can and can't do. And so what we do is we host this job fair, which we've now turned into a career fair, where employers from across Canada can meet candidates of all abilities.
How can that educational piece work for the employers? Because like you said, some of them don't really understand quite how to hire perhaps somebody with autism or how to sort of deal with the hiring process of that. How can you help educate them as well?
I think that's just it. It's educating and for them to understand what autism exactly is, what types of accommodations they may or may not require. I think there's a lot of biases against the community in terms of, because it is a bit of a social disorder, that they're not competent at this role or they can't do that role. And in fact, oftentimes a lot of these job seekers can do amazing work in roles most employers would think they're not equipped to do. Recently, I spoke to somebody asking if autistic job seekers could work on farms because they're hiring, to work with cows. An autistic person would love to sit there for 10 hours a day milking a cow. It's the perfect job for them. Right? So it's just keeping that sort of form of education going and helping them understand what this community is all about.
Right. And so you've got 3 fairs coming up very soon. Where are they and what are the stipulations to get in? Do you have to pay? Is it free? How does it all work?
Everything's free. So it is on Friday, September 26th is our national virtual job fair. And then we're hosting 2 in-person job fairs, one in Toronto on October 17th and one in Ottawa on October 7th. And we're seeing a record number of people signing up for the job fairs this year.
Yeah, and what kind of success have you had in terms of getting people placements after these fairs or career fairs, job fairs?
Great question. I mean, we've had a lot of success finding people employment with employers across the country. Companies like Enbridge, Microsoft, and some of the banks have all met candidates, Canada Post as well, from our job fairs. Sadly, we don't have all the data that we'd like, but what we do know from a lot of these employers is they have met qualified candidates and they have hired them. I think the most important thing, though, to note is, for us, this is about awareness and really hope for these job seekers, because without this job fair, they have little hope.
Yeah, I mean, that number about, the average median income for somebody on the spectrum is something like less than $3,000 a year. People can't live on that. That creates other impacts throughout society, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I mean, that's a big piece of why we're doing this, right? It's give them hope, give them opportunity, give them purpose, get them off government support, and really just continue this mission that we're doing.
Is this personal to you?
Actually, not me, myself. It has become now. It has now become after 9 years of doing this. However, my partner, who I co-founded our not-for-profit with, his son's autistic, and he's the inspiration behind our job fair. And he came to me in 2017 and said, I want to do something around autism. And my mind started working, and I said, let's do it. My first question was, can people with autism work? That's how little I knew about it. But here we are 9 years later.
It's interesting, because we talk a lot about autism funding, help, for young children with autism, ABI, all kinds of different things here. And it seems to get shuffled around and pushed to the side. It doesn't get sort of the prominence that perhaps clearly it would in fact need here. So how do you think in 9 years that the Spectrum Works has helped, as part of the solution to the problem?
Again, great question. I think we've really done a great job, thanks to individuals like yourself and CP20 for allowing us to have a platform to really bring to the public like the need of the community, how great this community is, how much they want and are willing to work. And we've seen employers really start to adapt and adopt. We host webinars, job training information sessions. They're all getting engaged, and we're slowly breaking down these barriers, and we're finding more employers being open and willing to participate and hire.
It's a huge job you're doing here, because like we've said, statistically, we're seeing, it's the fastest growing, diagnosed neurodevelopment disorder in this country here. So we're talking about thousands, tens of thousands of people who this directly impacts.
Absolutely. I mean, I wish I could say one day we don't have to do this. I wish one day I didn't have to do these job fairs.
Yeah.
But, you know, with the way the economy is going and the way that this community, just for whatever reason, unfortunately, has been overlooked, we're just going to continue this mission to continue helping as many Canadians and Ontarians as we can. All
right, Neil Forrester, co-founder of SpectrumWorks. Pleasure speaking this morning. Thanks very much. Good luck with these job fairs. Thanks for what you're doing. Absolutely.